Have you ever wondered how much you could save by budgeting your groceries? It's a question that perhaps doesn't cross our minds as frequently as it should. But don't fret, because today, we're going to explore the fascinating world of grocery budgeting. Grocery budgeting is an art, a subtle balance of economic understanding and personal finance management. It's about making wise decisions that not only benefit our wallets, but also our health and our planet. You see, every time we step into a supermarket, we're faced with a myriad of choices, and each choice we make impacts our financial health and overall well-being. Now you might be thinking, but I only buy what I need. How can I save more? Well, here's the crux of the matter. It's not just about buying what you need, but also about understanding the value of what you buy. Consider this. A pack of instant noodles might be cheaper than a bag of fresh vegetables. But when you look at the nutritional value and the long-term health implications, the vegetables are undoubtedly a better choice. This is where the economics of food purchasing comes into play. In the grand scheme of things, grocery budgeting is about making the most of our resources. It's about understanding the hidden costs and benefits that lie beyond the price tags. It's about considering the nutritional value, the environmental impact, and the long-term effects on our health. And of course, it's about saving money. By budgeting our groceries, we can potentially save hundreds, if not thousands of pounds each year. That's money that could go towards a dream holiday, a new gadget, or a rainy day fund. Moreover, grocery budgeting can also help reduce food waste, a major issue that contributes to environmental degradation. By buying only what we need and making the most of what we have, we can help conserve resources and reduce our carbon footprint. So, are you ready to dive into the world of grocery budgeting? Prepare to be amazed by the money you can save. The first step in budgeting your groceries is to know your spending habits. Do you know yours? Let's dive in. Start by taking a good look at your recent grocery receipts. It's a treasure trove of information about your spending habits. Are you spending a fortune on fancy cheeses or premium cuts of meat? Or perhaps your weakness is those tempting ready-made meals? By understanding where your money is currently going, you can identify areas for potential savings. Keeping track of your spending is a bit like a detective work. It's all about finding the clues and putting the pieces together. And you'd be surprised at how quickly those small purchases can add up. Remember, the goal here isn't to make you feel guilty about your spending, but rather to give you a clear picture of where your money is going. And with this knowledge in hand, you're empowered to make smarter choices. With a clear view of your spending, you're ready to move on to the next step, setting a budget. Setting a budget might sound daunting, but it's easier than you think. And when it comes to groceries, it's a simple tool that can help you navigate the labyrinth of prices, sales, and food choices. Let's start with the basics. Your grocery budget should be a reflection of your past spending habits and future financial goals. If you've been keeping track of your spending, you'll have a good idea of where your money goes each month. Take a moment to review these numbers. Are you happy with what you see? If not, it's time to make some changes. To set a realistic budget, look at the average amount you spend on groceries each week. Then consider your financial goals. Are you trying to save money for a holiday, or perhaps you want to pay off debt? Whatever your goals, factor them into your budget. For instance, if you usually spend £100 on groceries but want to save £20 a week, your new grocery budget would be £80. Now, it's important to remember that a budget isn't set in stone. It's more like a guiding star, leading you towards your financial goals. Some weeks you might spend less than your budgeted amount, and other weeks you might spend more. That's okay. The aim is to spend less over time, not necessarily to meet a specific number each week. And here's a pro tip. Be flexible. If you find that your initial budget is too restrictive, adjust it. If it's too loose, tighten it up. Your budget should work for you, not against you. Remember, the goal here isn't to deprive yourself of the foods you love. It's about making smart decisions that help you achieve your financial goals while still enjoying your meals. With a budget in place, you're well on your way to grocery savings. But how do you stick to it? Let's find out. Scene script, planning and prioritizing. These are your secret weapons for staying within your budget. Let's start with planning. Imagine this. You've decided to eat healthier and you've set your budget. Now comes the fun part, meal planning. This isn't just about choosing what you fancy for dinner each night. It's about crafting a well-balanced menu for the week that not only satisfies your taste buds, but also aligns with your budget. Think about the ingredients you'll need for each meal and how they can be used across different dishes to avoid wastage. For instance, if you're buying a bag of carrots for a stew, why not plan a side of roasted carrots for another meal? It's a win-win. Now let's talk about prioritizing. It's easy to walk into a supermarket and be tempted by all the delicious goodies on display. But remember, you've got a budget to stick to and a meal plan to follow. This is where prioritizing comes in. Needs before wants always. Fresh produce, lean proteins, whole grains, these are your needs. That fancy gourmet cheese or the premium ice cream you've been eyeing, those are wants. They might be delicious, but they're not necessary. Prioritize your needs, and if there's room in the budget, treat yourself to a want or two. So how do you turn this plan and these priorities into a shopping list? It's simple. Write down all the ingredients you need for your meals, then add the essentials. Things like bread, milk, and eggs. And remember, stick to the list. It's your roadmap to staying within budget. In essence, planning and prioritizing are all about making conscious decisions. It's about choosing to spend your hard-earned money on what truly matters to you and your well-being, rather than on impulse buys and quick fixes. With a solid plan in place and priorities set, you're almost there. But there's one more step: smart shopping. Smart shopping isn't about finding the cheapest products. It's about making the most of your money. So how do we do this? Let's dive right in. Firstly, let's talk about comparing prices. It might sound tedious, but a little bit of homework can save you a pretty penny. Look at the price per unit, not just the overall sticker price. This way, you can discern which product offers better value. Next, take advantage of sales, but do so wisely. Stock up on non-perishable items when they're on sale. But remember, a deal is only a deal if it's something you'd usually buy. Don't let a flashy sale sign lure you into buying something you don't need or won't use. Buying in bulk is another great strategy, especially for items you use regularly. Large quantities often mean lower prices per unit. But do be mindful of expiration dates. Buying a year's worth of yogurt at a bargain price isn't a smart move if it expires next month. Now let's talk about seasonal produce. Not only is it fresher and tastier, but it's also usually cheaper. Why? Because when a fruit or vegetable is in season, there's a surplus, and the price drops. So enjoy strawberries in the summer and squash in the autumn. You'll save money and your meals will be more varied and delicious. Lastly, consider the economics of eating out versus cooking at home. While treating yourself to a restaurant meal is a delightful experience, doing it too often can burn a hole in your pocket. Preparing meals at home is usually more cost-effective, and with a bit of practice you can whip up dishes just as delicious as those fancy eateries. Remember, smart shopping is a skill. It takes time to master, but the rewards are worth it. You'll save money, eat better, and perhaps even discover a love for cooking along the way. With these smart shopping strategies, your grocery budget is destined to go further. So why not start today? Your wallet, your stomach, and maybe even your waistline will thank you. So, to recap, grocery budgeting is a 4-step process. It all starts with tracking your spending. By keeping an eye on where your money goes, you get a clear picture of your food expenses. From there, you can set a sensible budget. Remember, this isn't about depriving yourself, but rather making informed decisions that align with your financial goals. Next, we move on to planning and prioritizing. This is where your culinary creativity can shine as you juggle nutritional needs with budget constraints. Lastly, we have smart shopping. Whether it's buying in bulk, choosing seasonal produce, or taking advantage of sales, every penny saved is a step closer to your goal. The beauty of grocery budgeting is that it doesn't only benefit your wallet, it also encourages healthier eating habits and reduces food waste, making it a win on multiple fronts. Armed with this knowledge, you're ready to master the art of grocery budgeting. Happy saving!